size of that thing. Son. Ooh, that's a big one. $3.10. Nice. Well, it's me now. Pound and a half mean mouth.
kind of give you the rundown of what I'm doing at open windows and what you call it. I'm fishing for, there's largemouth in here, there's big spots. I'm just fishing literally right underneath these balls of bait. Sometimes individually picking a little off here and there. But guys, this is basically the key. There's a lot of spots, there's a lot of largemouth, and I've caught some hybrid in there, but then so you're just gonna have to kind of really find these balls of bait like this, fish below them. And as you can see, I'm fishing 65 feet of water. So you want to have a fish stick. If you're in a tournament scenario, there's some more right there. And just kind of like, I do better fishing underneath the balls of bait. I can kind of convince them every once in a while to basically take the minnow every once in a while. But guys, if you find these balls of shad like this, and you'll find a bunch of fish around there, you just gotta have to search and then look for them. They're right up underneath here, right there. There's a couple, and that could be some interference. No, that's fish right there. So there's some up on top. But that's what I've been doing for the past week. Also been catching some on some A-Rigs on the top of the tree tops as well.
So today is Thursday, January 8th, and I'm here to give you a fishing report on Table Rock Lake. But before we get into that fishing report, I just want to say thank you for everyone who subscribed to Coy's Picks. If you don't know what Coy's Picks is, we're doing a subscription box. Every month, you're going to basically get all the baits that I use on Table Rock Lakes and all the surrounding lakes here in the state of Missouri. Not only that, you can subscribe to Coy's Picks, and those baits will also work on the surrounding lakes that you're a part of, like in Oklahoma, Texas, all the northern lakes and stuff like that. Guys, it's not just for Table Rock Lake, but it is the baits I use on Table Rock Lake. So that being said, if you want to subscribe or get a subscription box, go to Hines Guide Service. You'll go to my website. It's super easy. You'll go down where it says Coy's Picks. You'll hit the subscribe button, and it'll take you to the thing to where you fill out all your stuff to get that. Pre-orders, got a lot of pre-orders. You will be getting your box in February. The pre-order cutoff date is probably going to be the first week of February, so we don't get so bombarded with a lot of people, as a lot of people are getting subscription boxes, because we're grateful and thankful. So thank you for that, for getting a subscription box. Like a subscription box, you could get it for your children, your kids that want to gain more tackle. They're going to be different lures every month, lures that I catch fish on every month. So thank you once again for ordering and getting all that done. So we're going to put out those boxes on the first week of February, and then for every month you will get a subscription box throughout the months. So like I said, thanks again. So let's get into this week's fishing report. As you can see on the videos that I was showing you right there, this week I was using an A-Rig. I was basically caught a bunch of my fish on the minnow this week. And not only that, I've been throwing that Berkley Frizts side, still catching them shallow. If you want to just go out and catch you some fish and you don't have live scope, you can go up shallow on those main lake points and channel swing banks and just throw that Frizts side up there and just get it parallel. Make sure you're parallel on that bank and catch you a bunch of fish. If you like I said, don't have forward facing sonar, go to bluff walls. I've been catching a lot of fish on bluff walls, a lot of spots. I have caught some largemouth. Nothing Too spectacular, nothing too big. You know, I've been catching around 2.5, maybe pound-and-a-half spots. I have caught some largemouth that were about 2.5 pounds. Like nothing big, but the bigger stuff that I caught this week come off the Minnow and the A-Rig. What I've been targeting for the A-Rig, I've been getting around structure, basically standing timber that's in around anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 feet of water. Just been really throwing that over the tops of that timber, and they're coming out of the timber and they're attacking it. So I use the HogFarmer A-Rig, and I pair those up with the Mayor. If on the some of y'all use the mini flex or the micro, what I've done on the micro, I've generally pair those with like 2.8s, the 2.8 Mayors. I've been using shad colors, shad patterns, not the electric shad. It just says shad on there. Is basically what I can tell you. That's what I've been pairing those with, and I've been pairing the back one with like a chartreuse, and it's like a blue fluorescent. It's here. I got it right here. Let's see if we can get this out. I was fishing today, and it was raining, and had a lot of fun. But as you can see how it's kind of different color. It's got some chartreuse in it. It's just a different color type compared to like the Tennessee shad or the shad pattern with that. Those are the this is the mini flex, not the micro. I like the mini, and it doesn't give too much of a flash. It's got like 2 blades on it because the water is super shallow. I have tried the HogFarmer A-Rig with no blades on it. I just haven't caught any on it. They seem to want the blades more than it looks like a bigger ball of shad, as what you could say. So basically on that one, I will pair the 3.0s Mayor with those. Just gives it a little bit bigger profile, a little bit bigger baits. And the heads I'm using on those, I'm using the Dirty Jig guppy heads. Those really run straight and true with that. They don't get tangled up a lot with like your other heads. They just run real good. And that bait, it just kind of rocks side to side just like that. That's why I like the Mayors, because they really rock on that A-Rig compared to the Kitech. The Kitech doesn't rock. It just gets a lot of tail flash. And right now you don't want a big tail whip. You just want something a little bit more shimmier and just kind of rocking side to side. So that's what I've been using to catch some of the bigger fish that I've caught. And like I said, I've been using the on the Shaking the Minnow, I use a 1/2 ounce to 5/8 ounce to get way down there and get really deep. I've been using the Sakamata shad. It's like an Arkansas Shiner is what it looks like. And I've been using Baby 2Z's Arkansas Shiner. And also I've been using the Mooch Minnow. There's days that they want the Sakamata shad. There's days that they want the Mooch Minnow. And then there's days that they want the Baby 2Z. I can't really explain it. I've got 3 or 4 rods that are out there on the deck with 3 different baits, and they just shy away from it sometimes, that Sakamata, or they just for whatever reason they just want that different bait at that particular time. Really play around with different kinds of heads. I wouldn't go anything lower than maybe a 1/2. I'm sticking to 1/2 to like 3/4 to 5/8. I'm really getting down there really fast. You're going to see a lot of fish when you throw to them. How can I say this? They kind of run from it. Don't get scared by that. It's just something they didn't like. You're gonna have to run through a lot of fish to get that bigger bite. It's really shining in the timber. Like, I'm getting a lot of bigger fish in the timber. Today, I was out there in just the middle of a cove, smaller cove, found a bunch of bait, and man, I caught a 10-pound catfish. I didn't show that video because it was just a catfish, 10-pound cat. I thought it was like a megalodon, huge bass. I caught a hybrid, caught a bunch of spots, caught some largemouth. Just stayed in one spot for like 3 or 4 hours, and then the rain come in, and I got out of the rain, and then started fishing again. Went right back out to the same exact spot and just started catching fish again. They were really feeding on the bait today, as you saw in that video. How I was doing it, I was just getting around that bait and just throwing it down in there below them. Sometimes, like, I could throw it above the bait, and the ones that were sitting up high, they would come after it. So really, really open up your bait selection. Don't get frustrated. Don't get discouraged if you're throwing the Mooch minnow and it's just like, oh, they're just not biting the minnow today. No, it's probably the bait. They just don't want that particular bait. That's when I switch to the baby 2Z, and then I start fishing that. And then for some odd reason, they don't want that one. So then I'll switch to the Shad, and then all of a sudden they just start biting it. And it's vice versa. It varies. So you got to really be open-minded to switching baits, having several rods on the deck, and just trying to dial which bait that they want. So that's really all I have with you this week. Oh yes, the Frizts side, that one right there. See how translucent it is? You can see through it. That's that Ghost Morning Dawn. They love it. My brother turned me on to that bait. It's really, really good, especially that color. You need to get you some of those Berkley, Berkley 7-inch, yes. And another reason why I like the Berkley bait, it's silent. Like, it doesn't have a lot of rattle in it. It's very, very, like, you don't hear nothing. And I think that's just why they attack it, because all our other crankbaits, like the rock crawler and stuff like that, they're just making a lot of noise, and they're vibrating and stuff like that. They just like that silent right now. I think that's probably the key with that. It doesn't have a lot of sound to it, and they just love it. But anyways, I went to a bluff wall today after I got done scoping all those fish over there, and just started smacking them with it. So I couldn't put the GoPro out because it was raining heavily, and that could have had something to do with it too. The rain, they were just out gallivanting around and just roaming. But yes, guys, get you a HogFarmer A-Rig, get you some 2.8 Mayors, 3.2 Mayors, Tennessee Shad or Shad, and get you a Berkley 7-inch Ghost Morning Dawn, and then get you some Shads, which I don't think we're selling those. They're all sold out at Modern Outdoor Tackle, but you can get your Mooches and your baby 2Zs at Modern Outdoor Tackle, also along with your HogFarmers and all your Mayors. So guys, go in there and talk to Wes. He will help you out, and he will tell you what I'm throwing. So thanks again for watching the channel. Thank you for all the new subscribers and all the likes and all the comments, and thank you for all the people that are subscribing to the subscription box. Look, the subscription box, what you would pay for baits at Modern is basically what you're paying for the subscription box. I ain't making any money off this. I'm just trying to help people catch more fish and be there for the little guys, so that they can have a fighting chance against some of these local hammers that are out here tearing it up. And that's what this channel is for, is to help you become better fishermen, and to help you get more bites and help you get more bigger fish in the boat. So thank you again. So All right, so let's get into this week's Faith Talk. I'm not reading a scripture today, but what I'm going to talk about is about David. We all know the story about David and Goliath, right? David was basically a kid who was just tending his sheep, right? And before I get into that, I feel like so many of us these days want so much entitlement. Like we want the big win, we want the big promotion, we want this, we want that. Well, one thing that I can tell you about David is during that time is David was just a shepherd boy, attending his sheep, attending his flock. And he was faithful in that. And if we are not faithful in the small things, God's not going to give us those bigger things. Because either one, we complain, we grumble, we do a bunch of things that we shouldn't do. And what I'm talking about when we're being faithful, we need to be faithful in the Word. Be faithful in the Word of God, praying each morning before we start our day, reading the Word of God before we start our day, and just coming to Him for everything that we've got going in our lives. And, one of the things that's helped me out during these times of trials is that, I ask God to change the problem. Like, do something different. This is not working for me. And I heard a message one time, and it said, instead of asking God to change your problems, ask God to change your heart. And after I started doing that, it just seemed like I had more peace in my life. More things were going right. I was believing and trusting in the Lord that He was going to take care of all the problems, because He is our creator. He's created everything that we have. So basically everything is His. He has an unlimited bank account. He has unlimited financing. He has unlimited resources that He can help us with. He knows everyone. So guys, just be faithful in what you're doing at the moment. And, before David defeated Goliath, he had to defeat a lion too. So if you can't defeat that lion in your life, what makes you think God's going to put you in front of Goliath? Because ultimately you're not going to make it. You have to be that little shepherd boy, and you have to tend the flock, and you have to be faithful in all those things that He has given to us in that moment, and taking care of business. And what I mean by taking care of business is serving other people, praying for other people, being faithful in the small things, so God will promote you up to the bigger things, is basically what I'm saying. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps you out this week. Got some colder weather coming in, and I've enjoyed the 60-degree weather. It seems like it's going to be dropping down in the 40s and 50s. I like the colder weather. During fishing time, it seems like that's when you can catch your personal best, your PB out there. Guys, if you want on the water lessons, just DM me through YouTube. If you want to go out on a fishing trip, same thing, text me. My number's on the channel. And guys, so thank you from the bottom of my heart, and we will see you next week.